Oh, sorry.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Sade. We have a crew here to see you today because we want to let you know that you are a top 12 finalist for the Leaders for Life Scholarship at the state level for Take Stock in Children. We are so proud of you. We just surprised Sade Teal with being the top 12 finalists for Leaders for Life for Take Stock in Children. We had a whole crew here from Forest High School, from the Public Education Foundation, our board, as well as many people from CF because she's a full-time dual enrolled student, as well as a bunch of her family and her mentor. And we busted in on one of her student activities board meetings here at the college with their help and surprised her to let her know she is in the top 12. She gets a MacBook, and hopefully we get her into the top 5, which is the fellowship, which will give her both a scholarship up to $40,000 as well as a ton of leadership opportunities, which I know somebody like Sade is totally going to take full advantage of while she's at the university.
Friday night, November 9th, is the Public Education Foundation's 3rd annual X-glosive Tennis Tournament. The Glow in the Dark fundraiser has been moved to the Fort King Tennis Center this year and features 2 sessions, one at 6:30 and one at 8. The cost is $40 per session and helps support the Take Stock in Children program. In 2 years, the event has raised nearly $30,000, enough to fund 7 two-year scholarships. You can register online at xglotennisfortakestock.eventbrite.com or go to the foundation website at www.pefmc.org and click on Events.
We had a big push from our business community to get our teachers out there to see what's actually happening with businesses, and so they can bring that back to their classroom. So the teachers have actually gone out, spent 2 to 4 days in a business learning all the different departments of the business, not just the area they're familiar with already, and then they can take that back and tell that to their students and give them a realistic expectation of what the job field looks like.
This is the 4th year CTE teachers spent the summer doing externships, and by far the biggest. Nearly 3 dozen teachers, more than the first 3 years combined, spent time getting a refresher and some new perspectives on their career fields.
Not only it's been quite a while since they were in the workforce, but also they worked in a very specialized area. So for example, we have a nurse, and she worked specifically in the cardiovascular center. So she did her externship at an eye clinic because that was an area she had no knowledge in, and she was expected to teach her students about that. So it's a great way for them to learn about a different niche of their area that maybe they didn't work in or weren't as familiar with.
Rondo Fernandez hosted several teachers, giving each a different perspective on his business.
What's cool about Mojo is, right, we do so many different things, and we have so many different aspects to our company. So we have a huge catering department. We have 3 restaurants. We do hospitality all over the community. And what's cool is these teachers can come follow us each and every year and follow a different part.
Rondo is a huge supporter of all of our programs and a big force in helping us to improve and make a great culinary program for all of our students. And he hosted so many of our teachers, and they all did learn different areas, and they were actually there at different times, so they got to spend some one-on time with him, but they also got to spend time with his other employees and back in the kitchen, and also the HR side and the management side. So it was really great. Something that we've really pushed with our teachers is learning all the different aspects of a business. So we had a teacher who also went to Ford, and he got to not only hone his skill in the auto mechanics area, but also learn about the HR side, the IT side, the marketing side. There's so many different aspects of every business, so they got to see a little bit of all of that.
Ultimately, it's all about the students and giving them the best career education possible.
It's so beneficial because they really need to know all the different job opportunities that are out there for them. Maybe they are interested in a specific field like health, but maybe they don't want to work with patients every day. Maybe they have a really good niche with IT, so they want to go in that area. So I think it's important that they all know the different opportunities that are there for them, but also that their teachers are staying up to date and that their teachers really know what's going on and they can give them a relevant curriculum.
Wings have been done a million different times, a million different ways. So to be able to come up with something that's out of the box that I've never seen before and that the other judges haven't seen before was really, really impressive. The whole brown sugar acting as sand for a beach theme for a wing. One of the young men said, feel free to drop your wing in that sand because it's not really sand, it's brown sugar. And it added a great texture to the wing, so it was a great idea.
It's very heartwarming, actually. It makes you think that, wow, I did a good job. I came came up with something that someone who's nationally televised commented on it and said it was good.
I wanted the final competition to have judges that had credentials. I just, thought obviously we've got some celebrity chefs in town, and I made contacts, made calls, asked them, and they were gracious enough to give up their time.
This wing competition was amazing. I was kind of hoping there would be one wing that was kind of bad to make the judging part a little bit easier, but I mean, every single team knocked it out of the park. I mean, it felt like splitting hairs.
I did not have a bad wing here, and it was so tight, and we all felt the same way. It was every one of them, between the flavors and how creative they were. It was a really tough competition. I can tell you, it was very, very tight.
They were excited. They were a little intimidated, but I said, just go with what you know. Don't let nerves get ahead of you. Just do your thing.
It was kind of a bit nerve-wracking. I try not to think about what happened before. I try to think about them like normal people, just people trying our food. But there was always in the back of my head just a bit of I was a bit nervous, to be honest.
I tried not to think of it as like celebrities or whatever, but more of they're judging the wings, so we've got to be on our best.
So you weren't really intimidated?
A little bit, but I tried not to show it.
So what do we got here?
We have the Big Bad Buffalo wings.
Big Bad Buffalo, okay. I think that's always, it's very important, and I can tell you just even from personal experience, when I won our contest, right, I had no idea the last day when we were in there for the finals that it was going to be the folks from the Food Network, that were judging. So when you have these kids here and being able to be judged by, people that have been out there and have done that, I think it just raises it to a whole other level.
Hopefully our presence meant a lot to the young people. I hope this inspired them and let them know that they can take their culinary dreams as far as they want to go.
For now, the top two finishers will be taking their recipes to the Mojo Grill on State Road 200, where their wings will be featured on the menu next Tuesday evening.
I'm kind of interested to see how different people, other than the ones that came up with the wing, recreate the wings and see how that works in an actual restaurant.
Hi, I'm in one of our newest log cabin additions out at the Silver River Museum. This cabin actually is built from logs from North Carolina that date to the mid-1800s. Each log was carved by hand, and we brought this down and reconstructed it here to show people what a pioneer cabin from the 1860s would have looked like here in Florida.
One of the exciting things about this building that I'm in is that we have a functioning fireplace and hearth inside. And we'll have volunteers dressed as pioneers doing actual cast iron cooking demonstrations in there. We'll have docents in period costume in all these buildings. We'll have folk craft demonstrations going on, spinning and weaving and blacksmithing. We make sugarcane syrup Saturday and Sunday. We also have a covered wagon that the Florida Frontiersmen of Florida are bringing up from Tampa Bay. And believe it or not, we did have covered wagons in Florida. In the museum, we also have a brand new animated hologram of an Ice Age mammoth, where it's inside of an exhibit case, but it looks like the mammoth is alive and it's floating there in space, and it trumpets and walks off into the distance, and that's a new addition inside the museum. On Saturday, November 10th, we'll have Sheba, the Mississippi Queen, and the Bluesmen playing. On Sunday, we have the Cross Creek Cloggers. And clogging is a style of dancing and was one of the early dance forms in the eastern United States in the 1700s and 1800s. So they'll perform on Sunday.